Hi, I wanted to come on and go live today to talk about how to know when it's time to delegate and share with you a few pointers and tips to know when that is because I speak with a lot of people that aren't sure and don't know when it's time. So that's what I wanted to come on and talk about, share some tips so you know that, so that you don't, there are some things to look for to help you know when it's time for you to do it. So the first thing that I'd like to talk about, one of the things that to know when it's time for you to delegate is things on your to-do list stay there for days. I know some of, if you are like a lot of entrepreneurs, you have a lot of different things that you need to do each day. And at the end of the day, they're still there. So you have all of these tasks on your list and you know that you need to do them, but at the end of the day, they're still on the list. So that's one measure to know when it's time for you to delegate. Secondly, you put certain tasks off. So these are most likely things that you don't enjoy doing, but you know that they need to be done. They are important to be done. And so when you put them off due to procrastination, then they tend to back up and backlog, which then causes you to have to work longer and harder to get them caught up. So that's the second thing to know that it's time for you to delegate is that you put off certain tasks. The third thing is you have projects that you want to do, but you never get to them. So that's another sign that it's time for you to delegate because that's something that you could give to someone else. It's holding you back. You have maybe additional revenue streams for your business that you would like to do, and you're putting it off because you don't have the time. Well, that's something that you could delegate to someone else to make sure that it happens and you begin to bring in that additional revenue for your business. Next is you don't have time to market your business. And that's crucial if you're a small business owner or an entrepreneur. You definitely need to continue to market your business and to do it consistently. So if you're not doing it, then that's definitely something that you could delegate to someone so you know it's time to delegate when you're not marketing your business consistently. The other thing is you don't have time to think strategically. As the CEO of your company, you do need thinking time. If you're always working in the business instead of on it, then you don't have that time that you need. Your mind is just full of things that you're working on, the busy work in your business, and you don't have time to think. And if you're in that CEO role, you're running your own business, you do need strategy time. You need time where it's just you thinking and focusing and having a clear head to even be able to think about things that you could do for your company in order to drive and move it forward. So another thing that happens to know when it's time to delegate is you want to grow your income. So you decided that you want to grow your business, you want to grow your revenue, but you're tapped out. So then that's a sign to know that it's time to delegate because you no longer have that time or space to be able to grow your revenue. You can't take on one more thing. You can't take on one more task or project. So you definitely, that's a sign that it's time to delegate because in order to grow your revenue, it's going to take an additional person. There's only so many hours in a day and that you can do things. And so maximize that by using someone else's time. That doubles your time. So if it's you with another person, that doubles the amount of productivity that can happen in your business to help you grow your revenue. Another thing is you're working in the business but not on it. That's another sign that it's time to delegate because if you're just constantly working in the business, it's not going to move forward. It's not going to drive itself. And so you're spending all of your time working in it and not on it. And definitely what that alludes back to some of the things that I mentioned earlier about having that strategic time to think. That's time for you to spend working on the business. It usually involves having that ability to be able to think about what you want to do next for the business. And so if you're constantly working in the business and not on it, and you realizing that, that's definitely a sign that it's time for you to delegate. And then lastly, that one of the things that I wanted to share was if you have a feeling of overwhelm, if you have that feeling of overwhelm, it's definitely time for you to delegate. Not having, time to even breathe, knowing that you just got so many things to do and not enough time to do it, it's definitely time for you to delegate. So those are some things and signs for you to look for to know when it's time for you to delegate. And I will recap those two here. So again, the first one was things on your to-do list just stay there. Secondly, is you put off certain tasks and then they back up and you spend a lot of time having to catch up on them. Fourth, you have projects that you want to do, but you don't have time to do them. The fifth thing was you don't have time to market your business. The other thing is you don't have time to think strategically. And another way is you want to grow your revenue. And then you're working in your business instead of on it. And then lastly, you have a feeling of overwhelm. So if any of those things are happening in your business, then you know that it's definitely time for you to delegate. So hopefully this has been helpful for you, and it helps you decide and know when it's time for you to get some help. Again, my name is Tanya Thomas. The name of my business is Team Delegate. We are an executive virtual assistant company. We work with entrepreneurs and CEOs to help them double their productivity so that they can triple their earnings. We are an executive virtual assistant company. If you'd like to learn more about us, or if you'd like to have a conversation with me to dive in deeper to determine if it's specifically time for you to delegate, then you can reach out to me at teamdelegate.com and click on the Get Started button. And there we will be able to schedule a consult so I can speak with you to find out if it's time for you to delegate. That's it for today's live. Again, thanks for viewing it, and I hope that you have a great rest of your day.